going on? We are live. We are live on episode 4 of season 3 of Behind the Crown Talk series. I am your host, Eki, also known as Eki's Famous. Eki means joy, all about spreading peace, love, and joy around the world. And I'm here with some of my amazing special guests. These are members of Your Queens Incorporated. And we are here. We are here. We are live. Family and friends, as you're tuning in, share this out with your family and friends as well. Press the share button, whether you're tuning in on YouTube or Facebook. We appreciate you. We're talking love, and we want to see y'all in the comments talking about this because this topic is so important. Pardon me if I feel a little stuffy. Y'all know it's winter. You already know what's going on, but I'm safe drinking my tea. But we are here for you. So I want to start off with introducing my beautiful queens who are joining me as my special guest on today. But before I do that, any new people on here, we are your queens. What we do is we teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. Check out yourqueens.com. We started in 2015, and right now in 2021, we are still moving strong, performing for children and adults all over, virtually and in person. And we're here having this talk about love. So we are here for you, yourqueens.com. My name is Eki. I want to start off first by introducing my girl McQuavon Mills. I met her almost 20 years ago. I feel like it's that. I've been saying that. I just like throwing that number. It's definitely been over 15 years. I met her when she was a teenager. She's actually in her late 20s. Lord, yes, I'm getting up there, late 20s now. And she's just been amazing support through Eki's Famous and through Your Queen. She's now on the board of directors as secretary on the board of directors. And she's just been my right hand. I love this woman. She has my back. I have hers. She's here. Mickey, say hello to the people.
First off, as you said, you getting up there. I was like, I'm getting up there. Like, we've been rocking since 14, like from your first play and everything. So clearly now I'm telling my age and telling hours. But like Biseki said, my name is McQuavon Mills. I go by Mickey. Currently, I'm an educator in the South, getting ready to just move along. But for right now, I'm enjoying life, peace, prosperity, and much more. Thank you.
I love that. Wow, 14 years old. Ooh, yeah, you said I'm okay with telling my age. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm 40, y'all. 40, y'all. I know. I know. Next up, I'm gonna introduce one of my queen, Aisha. Aisha, the beautiful Aisha. You may have seen her. I'm blowing you up, girl, on billboards. You may have seen her in the Mac ad. She is doing her thing, y'all. She is walking her path. She is a partnership manager with Your Queen. She also plays the character of Makita, Queen of Sheba, as well as Queen Amina when the time comes. And she's here joining us. She joined Your Queens in 2018. And right when she came in, I had her host one of our first shows, and she's been with here ever since 2018. What's that, 4 years now? Wow. So, Aisha, thank you for being here. Hello to the people.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm all the things that Eki said. I'm an educator, an activist, and organizer from Brooklyn, New York. I was blessed to join Your Queens and find another creative outlet for myself when I was at a time where I was really starved creatively. So I'm so very blessed to been able to participate and still rocking with Your Queens. And yeah, that's all I got to say for now. Thank you. I'm excited to be talking about love.
Good to have you. Last but not least, you guys have seen her on this almost every single episode. We appreciate you. She's one of the reasons why we have this talk series. It's Hanjane Merrick, because she knows I gotta say her name like that. Angie, same time, joined Your Queens at the same time with Aisha, and she's literally been right there. I mean, I'm honored to have her because she's also a new mom, but literally, I don't take it for granted when I need this woman. She is there for me. Even if she's not, she communicates and all those great things. I appreciate you for believing in me. Thank you. Angie, say hello to the people.
Hi, beautiful people. Eki, thank you so much for that. Like, listen, we're talking about love and black love and self love, and here you go, already fluttering me with love and affection and this like appreciation. I'm about to like start watering down, and we didn't even start talking yet. So, like, literally, thank you so much for that introduction. As Eki said, my name is Anjanae Merrick, but I go by Angie Nicole. You can see the Instagram hashtag. I've been on here a couple times. You've seen me. Literally, I am in the retail space, more so working on footwear for premium brands. I am the social media manager for Your Queens Incorporated. I sit on the Your Queens Incorporated board of directors as an advisor, and my recent role is the head of advertising for Your Voice Media. So chime out to our partners, I Rant and Your Voice Media. We love you guys, and we wouldn't be able to stream so far and have a bigger audience without you guys. So we are very, very grateful for your partnership and your dedication to seeing the Your Queens organization grow and continue to be a force to be reckoned with in this costume space. So thank you guys.
That was beautiful. Wow. Yeah, we're out here, y'all. We are here. We are doing it. Yourqueens.com. Hi, Queen. Hi, Neffy. I love you. One of our queen up. Sorry, y'all saw me come out of character. Hi, Nefertiti. Good to have you on here. We appreciate you. So, yourqueens.com. We are here for you, teaching about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. Save the date, December 26th for Kwanzaa. And I want to sneak in. Can we sneak in a little Your Queens? Oh, that's our flyer right there. A Royal Kwanzaa celebration. This is our 5th Kwanzaa celebration. It's going to be virtual and in person. We are having vendors, food vendors, clothing vendors, and I'm also trying to get a natural body vendor, Black-owned vendor as well. So,
I got you.
Oh, you got
I got to. I got somebody. I got somebody right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shout her out if she's watching. My girl Michelle Adamo. She is the owner of Lunar Bella Noor. So if you need that, I hope she's listening and watching because I told her to watch. I'm gonna send her information so that you and her could contact because she can possibly vend.
Perfect.
And yep.
Yeah, we're only gonna have a few vendors, like a handful of vendors, but I definitely please send her information. Brother Logic, could you share? We have a Your Queens commercial. I want us to share that as well before we jump into the first question.
Are you looking for a new way to celebrate your birthday? Have your Black History Month celebrations been missing the mark? Want to add a royal touch to your next event? Then you need Your Queens, the first registered African royalty character company depicting the stories of non-fictional African kings and queens. Whether you are planning an intimate gathering or filling up a stadium, Your Queens will evaluate, educate, and express the dynamic lineage of real African men and women through storytelling, song, and dance. You'll have the opportunity to meet dynamic royals such as Queen Cleopatra, Makeda, Queen of Sheba, Queen Nefertiti, Queen Amina, Queen Nzinga, and Queen Nanaya Asantua. Let Your Queens take your next in-person or virtual occasion to the next level. For more information, visit our website at www.yourqueens.com.
Oh, I was talking. That was awesome. Shout out to Queen Shannon for the voiceover on that commercial. She may be joining us a little later. But y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready? Let's do this. You ready? First question. Let's talk about love, baby. I know that's not how it goes. All right. First question. What is something you learned about yourself during this pandemic? And that's for our audience as well who are tuning in. What is something you learned about yourself during this pandemic? Mixers. I'm coming for you.
I was trying to think. I was like, ooh, I hope she don't come to me first. One thing I learned about myself during this pandemic. Ooh, you got me stumped. I would definitely say that I am resilient. It was a lot going on during this pandemic, and it gave me a chance to sit back, breathe, and relax, and let me know that, hey, you're resilient, you got this, even if you're going to cry, which I do a lot. But I'm resilient, I can make it, and here I am today, just trying to walk in my purpose and walk in better faith and prosperity through Christ.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we speak often, so I can relate wholeheartedly. Resilient, definitely. I'm gonna jump in real quick. Something I learned about myself during pandemic, and this is I would be very open, whether it's good or a challenge. I realized I didn't have any boundaries. That's something I learned. I think we talked about that, Angie, right? I realized I had to put some boundaries in place. Something else I learned about myself is that I am a aggressive. I don't give up no matter what. I keep going forward, even if I'm in an audience of 1 or 10,000. Even if people can't make it, I'm gonna keep pushing forward no matter what. So I guess I can take that same word, resilient. Aisha, how you feel? What is something you learned?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I feel like I feel like there are exponential. I feel like what I learned about myself is that I'm expansive, and that the way I know myself today may change because I change. And so, like, to be open to that and not be ashamed, like ashamed is one, but scared. So that's something that I think I've learned is like I will continue to know myself. Like, that's the journey of honoring myself, is knowing myself, and it doesn't end.
Yeah, the evolution of it and embracing that, sitting with it through all the emotions. Yeah. For anybody else in the audience, what is something you learned about yourself during this pandemic? And Aisha said expansive. She used that word. Mickey said resilient. Yeah, Angie, what you got for us? What is something you learned during the pandemic? Why are you rolling your eyes?
God. Because that was I learned a lot. I learned a
You had that look like I'm still learning.
I had to take off the glasses for this one because I'm like literally like thinking. I learned one of the things you said was boundaries. I learned that I didn't have any. I also learned that I believe it was Isis who came over here when we had our episode probably like last week or 2 weeks ago, like a month ago. And she talked about understanding toxicity in the people who are around you and trying to get rid of those people or keep your space. And that's something that I'm learning to cherish my space and don't let others take my energy. And then the last thing I think, which is the biggest lesson, is I'm learning patience and the virtue of knowledge. I say that to say that, as you know, I've been on a journey forever to try and like revamp and re-embody my image on what I'm portrayed compared to who I really am. And I was doing that for a long time because I felt like people were judging me. And I have taken those comments and I internalized them. And during COVID and being home, I really had time to like just really go in deep and really go in depth in my soul and like understand, even just talking with you, just about like why am I changing for others versus just being who I am. And I kind of really have gotten validation in these past couple of weeks of being true to who I am, and true to myself, and not dimming my light because people can't deal with the type of energy that I bring. So that's like I think the biggest lesson that I've learned, because for a long time I've tried to dim my light so that I wasn't, overbearing, or I guess I don't even know the other word, like just trying to dim myself. And I just really came into fruition and really have come into being that like I don't need to be dimmed for anybody else. I need to continue to shine, because even though that person doesn't see my light as being dimming, as being bright, the next person may. So that person is just not the person for you at this time, space, and even just this moment in your life. So that falls back into that whole toxic environment, toxicity, and so on and so forth. So that was one of the other lessons that I learned through COVID.
That was amazing, Angie. As always, you know how I feel about you. You ain't got to worry about dimming your light to know where you make that light bright, bright, bright around me all day, every day. Yes. Neffy said, I learned that I'm stronger than the challenges. Ooh, I never imagined I face. Yes, strength. Yeah, strength. Michelle Adamo, I hope I said your name correctly. I'm stronger than I.
That's my friend, Michelle. Yes, that's the friend that just bigged up for Luna Bellanor. Luna Bellanor, that's her.
Are you free December 26th to be a vendor? That's how we do. I
already texted her. She was like, I got you. I'm on it already.
That's so funny that her and Neffy put stronger. Yeah, I also learned that I'm very strong. And even everything you said about being patient, accepting yourself, not dimming your light. Hi, Olayemi. I love you. How you doing? Thank you for joining. Something I learned about myself too, which was very big. My God, I have agape love. I have my love is overflowing. So with my love being overflowing, I have to make sure that who I was given, like, not only that's with family, friend, business, a partner, that it had to match, that I wasn't empty. So that's something I'm like, whoa, I got this. And I guess growing up as a Christian woman, now I see myself as spiritual. Now I read the Bible, but I believe in God. And I've learned that I literally was following biblically what love is patient, kind, slow to anger, all these attributes, and love and gratefulness and all these things is something that I realized I carry those qualities very well. And it's resilience. Peace, brother. Sean Butler, that's one of my besties. He's on the phone earlier. Resiliency. Yes. So something I learned, Tristan. Hi, Tristan. Reinvention. Wow. Yeah, this was a good question. Yes, reinvention. Also that too, Angie, was like, I got to be more vocal. Don't dim your light, because I knew that I'm touching somebody. And for the ones that didn't care, it's like, okay, they're still going to watch and judge. And I also had to accept, Aisha, I also had to accept being judged. That's okay. I used to be like, oh my God, don't judge me. I had to accept that too. That's fine. It's part of the journey. People are going to judge. But at the end of the day, as long as you're working on yourself, right? Neffy said, I also learned to not sacrifice, yes, my happiness for the sake of others and their expectation. Come on, let's get into it. Hi, Parley. I love you. One of my dancers. Hi, Queen. Hi, mentor. TL Cross. How you doing? That's our mentor for our boys mentorship program. Oh, Tristan, that's your boo.
That's my boo.
Hey. Thank you for the support. Yes. So can we get into the second question? Y'all ready? If anybody else want to share anything else on the first one? We're good. Yeah.
I just want to real quickly just say, like, what a blessing. It was a very tragic time, but one thing that has been like a huge silver lining in what the pandemic has brought is just like greater self-reflection. I'm just seeing people all around my life, not just like people who always talk about reflection, but like people who didn't have like a great self-awareness, being able to like look within. And I'm just like, there's a shift that's happening, and I'm really hoping it continues to be for the better. So kudos to everyone on this call and everyone that's watching for all the work that you've been doing on yourself.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, 100. There is a shift. My prayer for moving forward is that we continue to shift and we have these conversations where it's okay. It's like, I'm feeling this way today. Okay, what do you need help with? That we go into that type of world. Let's jump into the second question.
Before you even go there, Eki, like just going back to this topic, yeah. I was just thinking like what Aisha just said. And you know how I always get the comment about my son that everybody says my son is very happy. And I didn't really realize that. Like, not to say that like I didn't want him to be happy, but I didn't realize that it really had a meaning until somebody brought it to my attention. Like, probably like a week ago or something like that. And they were like, yo, your son is always happy and he's always smiling. They was like, that's a reflection of you. And I was just like, what? I said, what do you mean? They was like, well, you know how you always kept saying like your light is dim and your light is this and your light that, like that. But your son is always laughing and smiling. So that means your light cannot not be bright. If what you're doing and what you're portraying to him has him such in a joyous state to not even realize that like we're in a pandemic, like things could be so much worse, like life could be so much thing. All he sees is just happiness. So what he does is he's embodying the happiness that you bring out of him. And I was just like, oh my God, you about to make me cry again. Like, and I had to compose myself because I was trying to be professional, but it makes sense, especially like what Aisha just said with people's temperament and like what the pandemic did for them, so that like their emotional connection with others has been deepened and greatened, so that like now you could take that emotional connection and you can try and bring it out to the world, because we were so focused before COVID on being on our cellular devices, working, like we wanted the world to stop. Like I'm pretty sure if you polled many of people in the world, they wanted a moment to just digest everything that was happening to them and how face, and they wanted to slow down for a second. So we kind of manifested this, like not to say that we manifested people dying, like I would not wish that on anybody, but I think the world entirely manifested a slowdown. And that's exactly what COVID was. COVID was a slow down period for everyone in the world, not just the US, the world, to take a step back, take a seat, and really have that moment in time that people have been wanting, either if you're having kids, spending time with your children, because so many people that I've spoken to that are just like were working parents and they were just so embedded in their job, have literally said to me, like, I appreciate the fact that COVID happened because I got to spend X amount of time home with my son, my daughter, or my kids in general, and watch them grow and watch them, help them with homework, cook for them instead of having outside food. Just many different factors that really came into play here during the pandemic. So absolutely, Aisha, I really agree with you on the fact of the emotional connection that we all have shared through this, and I hope that it continues and it flows as people start trickling into the workspace, that people have a better work environment and companies understand that like emotional connections and people's mental health is a big issue, and people need to make sure that stays at the forefront, and their happiness and their joy needs to also be there.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Angie. Thank you for sharing that and just sharing the joy for your son Hudson as well. But even in that, just piggyback what Aisha and Angie said, I feel like we are coming to a conscious era in our life. And although we've lost a lot of people, but I do believe that we are all meant to be here at this time, in this moment, in this world, to manifest and do heal, grow, have these conversations, all these things. So trust the process. We just trust that where we are in right now. Yeah. Oh, I love it, y'all. This is so good. For those of you guys are joining in, we are Your Queens Incorporated. What we do is we teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. I'm here with my amazing queens, our special guest for today. And this is Behind the Crown, season 3, where we have topics dealing with focusing on the 7 Kwanzaa principles. We talk about not only celebrating the Kwanzaa during the December 26th to January 1st, but how do we celebrate all year round, but also having these very simple but in-depth conversation. And today we're talking love. We're talking self-love. We're talking Black love. And we just talked about how the pandemic, how something we've learned about ourselves during the pandemic, we shared being resilient, being powerful, being strong, being expansive. And the next question is, and for our audience as well, Peace YV Media, what's going on? Second question is, how do you practice self-love? DJ Overload, my brother, how you doing? Normally I've tried to throw my 2 cents, but ladies, tonight, y'all knocking it out the park. You're welcome. We still want your comments though. I love it. Yeah. So how do you practice? Tell us, DJ Overload, how do you practice self-love? Let us know in the comments. How do you practice self-love? Who want to take this one? Who ready? Who ready? Who ready? Who ready?
I can go.
Go for it.
Yeah, I love myself. Like, and it wasn't always this way. When I was talking to my partner about this the other day. Like, I really struggled with self-esteem issues. I was bullied when I was a kid due to like Islamophobia and just like I was foreign. Like, I wasn't actually foreign, but people received me as foreign, and so there was like all of these things that they all these ways that they kind of targeted me, I guess. And so I like having that experience. It just made me feel very like not human, and I slowly but surely started to really like be like, well, I'm not a human or I'm not normal, and that's okay. And being normal is whack. Like, I'm going to be different, and like trying to like love that part of myself. So I would say that how do I practice self-love now is like when I do have those moments, because I think it's very normal to have moments where you're maybe a little insecure, you're not as like kind to yourself, but just to remember how far I've come in loving myself. I talk to myself out loud. That's like a practice that I used to think was weird, but I'm trying to like really honor it when I'm trying to think through things. When I'm not talking nice to myself in my mind, I'll talk out loud because that voice is louder sometimes. I'll be like, in my mind, I might be saying like, you shouldn't have made that decision or whatever it might be. And out loud, I'm like, you were doing the best you could in the time. Like, honor that part of yourself. And so practicing self-love is like reminding myself of the journey, reflecting. I practice self-love by like reading, like I keep things that people say to me. I keep cards, I keep notes. Like, I have like a whole box that's just things that people have given me. And like, when I have those moments where I'm not necessarily like most like, I want to kind of run away from myself, I like go and like look at those stuff and remember the light that other people have seen in me until that's like reignited within myself. So those are just some of the ways that I practice self-love.
Yeah, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing. I love what you said right away in the beginning. You're like, I love myself. That's an affirmation in its own, just to be able to, because a lot of people can't say that. And that's something that I've started to do in my dance classes. We start off in a circle and I ask my students, what do you love about yourself? And all age group. And I go, don't tell me don't tell me, oh, I love that I can help my family. And that's great. I want you to tell me a physical attribute. I love my black skin, my hair, my eyes. I want you to tell me a characteristic about you. I love that I'm kind, I'm giving, and those things. And when I did that experiment with my students, it's always 50-50. A kid or a student or an adult go, I don't know. And I go, have you heard that question before? And they're like, no. I'm like, so that's okay. That's okay. So who's your friend that's sitting with you in a circle? Let's say it's Mickey. All right, Mickey, tell Eki, since Eki doesn't know what she loves about herself, tell Eki what you love about her so they hear it, right? So that's we started off with that. Amazing. You have to know what you love about yourself. And so we're talking about self-love. My mentor says, for me, I usually reflect on my journey by thanking my younger self. Oh, I love that. For all of the positive things I did, then I had benefit from today, as well as the things that were perceived as bad that I learned from. I am who I am today because the younger me never gave up. Come on, TL Cross. Y'all, I'm blowing you up. Y'all need to Google him. He's part of an amazing group back in the day. It's called La Day, but he's written for everyone. DJ Overload. I don't compare myself to others. I don't worry about other opinions about me. No, you sure don't. I try to stay away from toxic people and I allow myself to make mistakes. Yeah, DJ. Oh yeah, you're a liar. We have to normalize that, because you're not gonna, if you're trying to get somewhere in life, you're going to make mistakes. It's part of the journey. Yeah, that's the only way you learn, right, from that. Thank you, DJ Overload. And I love that you said also, Aisha, that you talk out loud. Yes. Your voice. There's vibration in your voice. There's power in your voice. Sean, heading out to green spaces and clearing my mind through exercise, fitness. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Showing love to my body. You better show love to your body by increasing my strength and stability as we age. It's important. Come on, black man. Let's go. Angie, Aisha, did you want to say something?
I was going to add another way that I show love to myself is maintenance, which Sean just mentioned is like, we got to do that, but also the mind maintenance. I would say I'm guilty of, during the pandemic, I stopped going to therapy because I just didn't want to really deal with the things I need to deal with.
That's
And
real.
I just started back up, and I'm like, I feel really good about a session that I had, and I'm looking forward to continuing to take care of myself and love on myself. And like taking care of myself is how I show my love.
That is so important. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. That is so important. Yeah. All those things. Mickey, let's go. Self love. How you show it.
You always get me at the most times in which I'm just like, man. I guess to start off, I have been going to church more and actually like reading my Bible again. So that allows me to like reconnect with myself and what I believe in. There are times in which I don't believe in myself, so I don't have self love. And similar to what Aisha said, I started going back to therapy and it helps me. And even though sometimes like I don't like to really process and deal with things, it has been helping me by having my counselor tell me like, no, this is what we're gonna do. And even though I have homework and a lot of schoolwork, it helps me be more intentional about ways in which I can love and care for myself and not listen to what people say when they're negative towards me. Because ironically, I do get a lot of negative feedback from people a lot, even when I call them so called friends. And depending on who you are to me in my life, family, friend, or etc., it really plays a problem on my psyche to the point where I really start to feed into what you say, how you say it, and depending on who it is, it makes all the difference for me. So, in short, I practice self love by self isolation and going to therapy.
Yes. We celebrate therapy over here because that's a way that you tap in. We've all, not everyone. Some people have had childhood trauma. Some people haven't. So when you link with do business or love with other, you're mixing all this stuff together, and you gotta. Sometimes a person may say something to you that meant absolutely nothing, and you may take it another way, right? So how do we? And you need therapy or the right people to channel through those all those things. So thank you for sharing that, Mickey. Hey, family and friends, we're talking love. Let's talk about love, baby. And the song. I'm about to say the song. And we're talking about how do you practice self love? How do we practice self love? Angie.
I wasn't ready for this question. This is the one question that I did not want to answer. I'm gonna be so honest about that. I don't practice self-love, because I'm just in a space where I am learning. Um, as you see, I'm getting socially awkward because this particular topic is very hard for me. Um, I'm learning to love myself more than I love others. And people on this live are like, "What? You don't love yourself?" And I'm just like, I have had insecurity issues for a very long time, as Aisha also said. Like, people bullied me a lot. I remember the days when people used to like talk about my lips and my breasts and call me. I used to get called like orangutan titties. Like that used to like bug me, and like people used to call me DSL. And we're on television, so we're not gonna sit here and say what that means, but I'm pretty sure everybody can figure out the acronym for what that means. And I was really insecure to the point where I literally found a surgeon to give me a lip reduction, and they were literally going to like take fat and pull fat from my lips. Um, and then like make me a whole new smile. But then when I saw the like image from the person, I got so scared. I was like, I don't like how I look. Like, what? I was like, what? This is actually right before I joined Your Queens. And then I saw Eggy and I was like, well, Eggy's lips is mad full. And she's just proud. She's always smiling with them. And I was like, and then the bold lipstick, like here I am trying to hide it. And then I see Eggy and she's wearing the red, the purples, the orange, and she's just like, yes, yes, yes. I love myself. And I'm just like, oh, like how can I get there? So the I say all of this to say that I'm still in transition of learning to love myself. But one thing that I did learn is pointing out triggers, and that is people, places, and things that trigger my insecurities. And I try to either not have those things in my space, or I try to convert. If it's in a conversation, I try to convert the conversation to something else. And if it's a person, I try to just leave the space, so that I'm not triggered in any type of way, so that I don't react, because I found that reacting just fuels the fire, rather than just being distant and still, because you can't really say something to someone if someone is just blank. So if I stay blank, I conserve my energy and my energy stays with me. But once I start talking and we're going back and forth, that rule of transferring energy now comes into play, because as I'm going back and forth with you, you're taking my energy. So I just found for me it's helpful to just become blank face, if that makes sense to anyone on this live right now.
It does. No, you're being very authentic and very real. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you're walking towards that path of self love. It's we always say like it's a journey. Yeah, and I'm glad that you move forward to change those beautiful lips of yours. And you know that I mean like life is just so beautiful, and it's a lot of times we less of us, more, you know, we are human beings going through a spiritual experience, all those things. We have to remember that. Hi Queen, how are you? I thought about you earlier today. Hi Mel. um and you have a voice. It's meant to, I always say like the future is so bright for you, and you'll see why you are where you are now. So just, I'm always proud of you. Continue to trust that journey. Thanks for sharing, Angie. You can be cruel even when they like someone or something. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely have my insecurities as well. Michelle said, I realize I am enough, and putting myself and my needs first serve me well. Yeah, you heard that. Not allowing others to use me or abuse is my way of protecting my energy and loving me first. Yeah, you got to be selfish. We use those words like it was a bad thing back in the day. Let's say, you know, you're in the airplane, put your mask on first before. Yeah, you got to save yourself first. You can't work from an empty cup. I practice self-love by pouring love into myself with the same intention, passion, grace, patience, and abundance that I do for others. You sure do, Neffy. You hold space. Thank you. No, with me and Angie, like, yes, you do. DJ Overload. Also, T-Bot said it best. Don't be afraid to touch yourself. Explore your body and get to know your body. Okay.
DJ Overload, what song was this? Because I need to know. What TL song? What TLC song is
Is
this?
this Red Light
That's not the
Special?
creep I know.
I was say that's not the creep I
Queen
know.
Patricia.
Listen, that was not the creep I know. I don't know if it was. I don't know. Can it be? What about your friends? So
No,
we
red
gotta
light
go.
special. Red light special. Yeah, you know what? I'm done. I'm sorry. Let me go back on mute.
I think you
Wait.
mean like I hug myself often. I know it. Is that what you mean, DJ Overload? Oh no, yeah. So
I mean, there's a lot of discomfort people have with their body, and like we need
yes,
to work on body positivity is to
thank
know
you.
and enjoy themselves. Like, are you comfortable being present with yourself in your most natural form? Like that's definitely part of that.
Look at yourself in naked in the mirror. Sean said, Lade, did he go to? Yes, he did. Yes. That's T.O. Cross, the world famous T.O. Cross. Yes, it is. Lade. You got it. You got it. You got it. No, you're right, DJ Overload. You gotta love yourself inside and out. My way of how do I practice self-love? Lately, thank you. I know. Um, for me, it's a lifestyle. For me, it's a lifestyle and very intentional. Same thing with um Angie, Aisha. I talk out loud. I go in the mirror and I literally talk to myself. Hey, girl, how you doing? What's going on? How you feeling today? Looking at my skin, my eyes. I do all. What do you need? What do you need today? What are we doing? We drinking water first. We're drinking tea. We have these conversations. Pray, meditate. I may call up someone and just give them positive energy, or vice versa. Being around nature, having these conversations. This is part of self-love, but also facing parts of me I didn't want to face, that I had to learn to work on. Well, knowing that I was too loving. Is that a such thing? That's me too. So it's having, okay, Eki, you can't give that to everybody. And also dealing with my insecurities at times and where that comes from. Why are you feeling that way, Eki? What's going on? Checking in and normalizing what that feels like. So that's my way of self-love. Did I get all three of you? We all answered? Yeah, we did. And then you guys in the audience answered as well. Thank you. Thank you. We are your queens. We are talking love. Mel, Eki, these mirror conversations, yep, are the truth. You connect with the soul. Yeah. I think I've been doing these mirror conversations since probably like the almost 10 years, just talking. And it really is transformative. It really is. It's okay to tell people to chill when they don't make you feel your best. It is. It is. It is. It is. It's completely okay to tell people to chill. I love that. So, your queens, we are here teaching about Africa. You want to jump in?
No, I was gonna say I think it's time, since we got some new people on here, to play our commercial again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see you. I'm jumping right into it. Can we play a Your Queens commercial so you guys can see who we are, what we are all about? Book Your Queens. We are here for you. Teach about African royalty through storytelling, song, and dance. We got a Your Queens commercial so you can see who we are and what we do. I think our brother Logic, he's going to drop it on the scene for us.
Are you looking for a new way to celebrate your birthday? Have your Black History Month celebrations been missing the mark? Want to add a royal touch to your next event? Then you need Your Queens, the first registered African royalty character company depicting the stories of non-fictional African kings and queens. Whether you are planning an intimate gathering or filling up a stadium, Your Queens will evaluate, educate, and express the dynamic lineage of real African men and women through storytelling, song, and dance. You'll have the opportunity to meet dynamic royals such as Queen Cleopatra, Makeda, Queen of Sheba, Queen Nefertiti, Queen Amina, Queen Nzinga, and Queen Nanaya Asantua. Let your queens take your next in-person or virtual occasion to the next level. For more information, visit our website at www.yourqueens.com.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're here. We are talking love. We're talking self-love and Black love. And we just had an amazing conversation about self-love, what that looks like, what that feels like. It's all different and also very similar for all of us. And I loved how we have our kings on the comments sharing how you guys practice love. That's so beautiful. Last but not least question. It is, why is Black love so important? Is that my question? Yes. Why is Black love so important? Who would like to go first? Why is Black love so important? Even for our family and friends and our supporters, why is Black love so important? Or even if you want to say, why is love so important? Of course, we're focusing on Black love. There's many reasons why we focus on Black love, because a lot of what our ancestors have experienced, what we pass down, the communication, if you're not dealing with your traumas, it comes out, all these things. So it's important that we have these conversations. And at the end of the day, we all need love, right? We all want love. We all want to feel love. So why is Black love so important?
I'll start.
I want to.
And then Angie, go right after.
Okay.
I would definitely No worries. I would definitely say that selfless love is important so that you know how to communicate and navigate with someone else. Because in order to love someone else, have black love, you have to love yourself first through and through. And it is a process, honestly. And then black love is important because for me, that's just what I'm used to. That is what I grew up around. So I want to practice what I preach. I want to embody black love, but I have to love myself first so that my children and later on in life they can see, you know what, mom, dad, they may have not always had it, but they showed us love and they showed us how to work with each other instead of at each other for furthering passions, dreams, or just a meal together where it's not separate or it's not the house seems divided.
Yeah, so you want to, that's beautiful, lead by example, because our children are watching, and that's where we are their first teachers. So they're only going to pick up what they've learned. And I think a lot of times when you get older, what I've learned, what I've experienced, thank God for my parents, my king and queen. They've been together 43 years. I've got to see black love through and through it all. I do believe my parents are meant to be together, and just to see how much my family, they're so loving. Somebody said that to me the other day. So the reason why I am so loving, because I watch it from my parents. We do not go a day without saying I love you. It's just a natural thing. And even if sometimes we mess up on the phone, like, oh, I'm sorry, I text you, I love you. So I grew up in that space of saying I love you and passing it on. That love is really big in my world. But I love what you're saying, Mickey, like you have to show it. And I'll teach our children, learn from there. Why is black love important, Angie?
I'm just gonna bring it back to this article that I actually read back in October of 2020, that defined Black love, and it states that love is a universal language that we all define in our own terms. When we add the extra ingredient of our Blackness, love can take on a unique power that is shared through an ancestral lineage, rich with traditions and customs that have been passed on through each generation and shaped by our own views on life. I think that sums up what Black love means to me, because traditions, heritage, and culture are the foundation of what Blackness is. And the fact that you marry your values with a person who mirrors the same values, that creates the love that generates to others and has it flow, as Nikki said, to your children, and then your children pass down that love and experience and traditions, and it continues to be an ongoing cycle of showing an appreciation of what it means to have melanin in your skin.
Yeah, bravo. And it not saying that it's gonna be easy, right? It ain't gonna be
Honey,
easy.
please, please. Y'all
But we know the
know,
focus.
y'all know y'all black men are, y'all got some times. So let's be real, DJ Overload, TL, y'all know.
Calling people out.
Sometimes, sometimes that could be difficult, but the same. And I'm not even gonna say for us ladies, because Eki, we cancers, we's a trip, honey. We's
Listen,
a trip. We emotional beings, honey. With that, when that retrograde comes, we like a, oof, okay.
like night and day.
So it's like night and day. So we understand. So it's a balance. It's a
This is
balance. I'm a big believer of the 80-20 rule. I'm sorry. I've seen it. People think that it doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I think it doesn't exist. I think that you're never going to find 100% in someone, but you will find an 80% in a person of everything that you like, and that 20% is something that you may not like, but because your 80% is so high that you overlook that and you're able to accept that and roll with the punches when it comes to that. So I'm a big believer in that
and you,
rule.
you choose your battles.
And that's the
Pick
20%.
your battles. Pick your battles. No relationship is perfect. If you're looking to walk into a perfect relationship, it's not
Or
happening.
even have a perfect relationship, as Eggy was explaining about her parents for 45 years. Like, that's not even possible. So there are the good and the bad, but it's about how you overcome the bad or overcome your opportunities to continue the traditions and the values, to transcend it to the next generation that you are teaching or you're around or whatever the case may have you.
I love that. I want to hear from you guys in the comments, especially the fellas. Why is Black love important? And how can we continue to grow together and be there even when we have disagreements? What is that about? What is your man trying to say to you? What's your woman trying to say to you? Don't dismiss that we have 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason. If we're going to grow together, I love that you said. I'm gonna read whole Nefertiti's comments up. I love that you said Angie, tradition, heritage, and culture. We know the root of all of this, right? Nefertiti says Black love is so important because the testimonies of healthy, loving relationship in the Black community leave behind a legacy that would outweigh the stereotypes and generational curses we're used to. Facts. Yep. Yeah. Steph, hi Steph. What's going on, brother? Why am I yelling? Like you can't, like you can see me. Black love is the cure to heal our community. Thank you. Black love is the cure to heal our community.
I want to jump in on that because
go right ahead.
That's when I think about Black love, like that's really what that is for me. I'm in a relationship with a beautiful Black Cancer man. You said Cancer, and I was like, hilarious. He's probably cackling right now too. And like I feel like through my partnership with him, I've become more of a healed person, someone who's more in tune with themselves. And I'm not that person at all, or I'm becoming that person as this relationship has pushed me in some ways to be able to do that. I think about the healing that comes to our community. It's not even just romantic though, loving Black people, period, is important. In the ways that all of us show up, I think is super important. We need more unity within our community, right? Like thinking about Black love, I think about, do you love Black people if you're colorist, you know what I mean, or texturist, or even fat phobic. Think about like who are the people in our community? How do we love the various ways that we show up as people? So to me, I think about Black love being important because I think about how we need to be there for one another. And especially where we live in the States where there's less of us, right? And so like how am I going to build my community? How am I going to survive without the love of the people around me, the people who are there and like connected to me in an ancestral way? Like I think that's something I think about so beautiful. So it's very hard for me to dismiss any member of my community because I understand how we're all connected. And that goes beyond just today. It's our lineage.
Yeah. It's our lineage. Jaleesa, Black love is strong and beautiful. Thank you, Jaleesa Harris. How you doing? Sean, Black love is so important because it's the only force that can combat yeah, that's my brother Sean, white supremacy, since we have folded into tribalism and focus on differences until we love each other with white supremacy. Wow. Okay, I think it got cut off. You already know. Continue to strive. Yeah, it's everything Aisha said. It's everything you guys are saying. Continue to strive. I love that you said you're part of you healed. Yes, your king is there with some Black love hearts. Yeah. Wow, Queen. Black love is healing. We have to know these things and never goes unnoticed. We as Black people are creators and inventors, and we strive to overcome obstacles every day. So loving ourselves and loving each other is a beautiful thing. Yeah. I always say a lot of times, like, give each other grace, because sometimes when you're so close, you find things about each other you may not like, but it's even in that find things, embrace those moments. You know what it is? The ego gets in the way. Remove the ego and say less of ego, more of me, or more of God, or whatever you believe in, and that keeps you at balance, because you don't miss what you have until it's gone. Then you're like, ooh, I had something good. So you have to focus on that moment while you're in it, because life is already challenging with the pandemic. So arguing and all those things, focus on love, focus on healing, focus on being there for each other. Another big thing is accepting each other for who they are. A lot of times we say love and we go, but I want you to love me the way I want it. And and then we're mad. We're mad at the person because it ain't love us the way we want it. And it's like, no, you're supposed to accept the person fully for who they are as they continue to grow and evolve. Am I making sense? Yeah.
I think it's the give and take. It's like you are gonna move in a particular way to be closer to what I'm asking of you. Like, I know I love in this particular way. I'm asking you to move in that way, and in exchange, I'm going to acknowledge that you might have some limitations in that way too, and I'm going to be okay with that in order to be in this partnership with you. I feel like it's the give and take part.
It is. It can't be one-sided. It doesn't feel good when it's one-sided, unless that is communicated. It depends on what you're going through in your relationship. Don't laugh at me, y'all. The way I'm able to understand Black love, this is funny. I hope y'all find it funny and don't take it personal. I don't know, should I be saying this live? I already put it out there. I think when it comes to love, women are crazy, men are dumb.
Absolutely true statement.
Okay, good. Y'all feel me? It's a fun.
I would disagree with that, but it's okay. I said I disagree. I respectfully disagree.
It's okay. It's okay.
I might agree that the men are dumb part, but here's the thing. And this is what I do think. I do think that I'm going to say there's a grain of truth to this. This is what I actually think.
So
women are taught to be so careful and care about everybody. Like, that is the way that we are socialized. Whereas men are not necessarily socialized that way. They're socialized that people are supposed to cater to them. So they don't really have, I feel like, and this is very, people are very more nuanced. We're very speaking in very generalized, simplistic terms. Like, this is not to say everybody's like this, but I feel like because men are also socialized to like expect things being catered to them, they don't have to work. They don't have to change themselves. And so that's why they get the notion of like they're dumb, is because there's not a lot of awareness that they're forced to do. We're forced to move and change to the whims of the world and other people. So we tend to have a deeper acknowledgement of those things. We're forced to move in a particular ways that are not healthy. Like, none of this is healthy, FYI. Like,
yeah, right.
And so like we get told we're crazies because we're asking for things that they're not expecting us to ask of them. So they're just you want me to listen to your feelings? You want me to hug you? You want me to care for you? You want me to put you above me? Why would I do that? Like, in what world? So I just think that I think really this is a notion. This is about like what we're taught and socialized, but also how our expectations are not aligned because of the ways that we are socialized. It's not sustainable. Like, it only works in a society where women are like, cool, whatever men want, we'll do it. But that's not, is that true love? Is that equitable? Is that fair? No, like, because we all have wants and needs. And so it's again, going to take that give and take to accomplish that.
Aisha, everything you said is why I made that statement. It's a reason. Everything you said is why I made that plain statement. And it's not for anyone to take it personal or be upset about it. It's just what it is.
Do you see Lottie's comments?
About to prompt a whole other shoot. Yeah, no, men are dumb, women are crazy. You see, I say both. Why? Because we're crazy enough to think that they're not dumb, and everything I should just said. It's light, y'all. Don't take it too heavy, and don't be like, I ain't dumb, I ain't crazy. Yes, we all are. We all got stuff called. Hi, peace and blessings, Stacy. I saw Brother Logic, DJ Overload. There we go. Nothing good is easy, and relationship needs to be worked on from both involved. Yeah, in the relationship. Black love is a culture, that is cherished and ultimately passed down through generation. And I saw our girl Rashina was on here. I think she said Black love is necessary, needed to continue our best Black selves. Shout out to Rashina, one of our queens. We appreciate you. She out there in Atlanta. I'm blowing you up. Hello to the queens living. Ishe. Oh, Aisha, am I saying that right?
I don't know. That's not my name. I think Ishe sounds right.
Right? Ishe reviews. Yeah. We are talking love, y'all. Preach, Aisha. Yes. Break it down. Yes, Mel. Black love is the only foundation strong enough to build a solid Black legacy. It provides safety, protection, passion, and vulnerability. All these things. And it's not only to talk about it, let's live it in actions. Let's also be okay to say, my bad, I was wrong. I apologize. forgive me. Or no, call your partner out. Hey, that hurt. We need to, don't brush it off. Oh, like, you know, a lot of time women, we're supposed to just take it all while y'all just be. And not saying that that's all. There are some great, phenomenal Black men, great, phenomenal Black women. We see it, we hear, we are great, phenomenal Black women on this panel talking, having these conversations. We have great, phenomenal Black men on this live. And it's not to attack anyone or to come down on anyone. It's how do we build together? Authentically. How do we build together? How do we love together?
This is our corporate economics. I forgot what principle that is.
Oh,
Ujima.
Ujima.
Yes, you're here. You're here. We're coming together. Go ahead, Queen. Yes, yes. So we are your queens. We had a beautiful conversation about love, self-love, Black love. My hope and prayer is that we practice it. Not only myself, I'm speaking as well, that we live it. We walk in it, we continue to build in it so we can build a legacy, have land, build children, build wealth, all those things about Black love, and remove our ego so we can be able to see each other and know that everybody's coming from a place of love. I feel like with relationship, a lot of time it's like, look at me, love me, as opposed to but everything else comes in the conversation, but it's literally like, hey, I'm here. Would you queens want to add anything else as we wrap up? This was awesome.
I would say that the achieving Black love is it is like a personal journey as well. And so pay attention to yourself. I know like a challenge for me is like the ego. I have a huge ego. And sometimes I'd like, girl, you need to sit down because you're not hearing what other people are saying because
you got a big ego.
Yes. Beyonce and Kanye were talking about me. And it's really hard. And it's really, really hard.
But you don't give those vibes. So I'm actually shocked to even hear you say that.
Talk to my boo. Talk to my boo.
Chris Jones, good evening.
But I try. I do try to like work on it. But I would just say like it's a process, like, and it starts from within. It's just like if you're starting to get the same messages over and over and over again, it's like maybe you got to take some time to reflect within and have some awareness around like what are some things that I can work on? How can I love myself? How can I love those around me for all that they are and for all that they contribute to my world?
Yeah, that was great. What's one word we can take away? Even for our audience member, what's one word for this conversation we had today, dealing with love, self-love, Black love? What you got? Now I'm thinking of one too.
Consideration.
Consideration. I like that. Consideration. Communication. Copying the C words. Communication. Who's calling me?
Cultural preservation.
Highline
adding on a C.
I was really hoping you wasn't going to do a C because now I felt pressure.
Malay said
oh, I got it. Cultivation.
Hey, we stuck with the C. I can't say no C's up. No, sorry, y'all. C.
No C's up. No C's up.
Here. Courageous. Oh, the community. Communication. Cultivated. Queens. Aisha, thank you. Angie, thank you. Mickey, thank you. Logic, thank you. Our family and friends, thank you. Continue to build in love. Yes. Amor pore. Lord have mercy. Intentional. I love that, Neffy.
Here we go, Neffy. Here we go.
Come on, word.
We need you on the next episode. Let's go, Neff.
Yeah. Neffy oozes love. She is love. Neffy is love. Y'all, we appreciate you. We thank you for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks. November 17th. We're talking finance. We're talking about billionaire mindset, building finance. We're building, and it goes right into it. We're building on Black love, building financial wealth within our community and around the world. And then again, on December 26th, will be our 5th annual Kwanzaa celebration, in person and virtual. We're planning that out now. We got our vendors in, we got food, we got a live DJ. Shout out to DJ Overload, blowing you up. And just beautiful queens and our princesses. will be performing. Yes, we're really, really excited. But I want to have our queen, Angie, because she does a strong close. Can you close us out, please? Close us out. Thank you,
I
Queen.
know you was coming. I know you was coming to me. I was just in here like, let me take a deep breath to get this in. All right, guys. Thanks a million times to our partners at iRant Network and YV Media for streaming this on their social platforms. Thank you a lot for this, because without you guys, it would not be possible to come to our 4th episode of season 3 of Behind the Crown Talk series with Your Queens. Follow us on social media handles at Your Queens Incorporated on Facebook, Your Queens Incorporated on Twitter, Your Queens Incorporated on IG, and Your Queens on YouTube. So please, please, please tune in. We're excited to be with you, and we're coming up to our annual Kwanzaa. So tune in, share this out to your friends and family. We talked about Black love, self-love, and all of the great things about being Black tonight. So we are so grateful to have our panel and have these conversations with you. And we look forward to the next one on November 17th. Peace, love, and blessings.
Woo! We love y'all. Thank you.